Hey, we're talking football on Razor Vision today as we welcome the Razorbacks' new defensive backs coach, Clay Jennings. He's fresh on arrival from TCU. And, Coach, first, welcome. I know you've hit the ground running, and you seem happy to be a Razorback.
Chuck, I'm very happy to be here. I'll tell you what, it's been a whirlwind process for me and my family. So my family's not up here yet, but I've just packed a couple of bags and said, you know what, I'm ready to go.
You know, Texas is one of those places that the Razorbacks always have to have a presence in. That's kind of your home turf, it sounds like.
Born and raised in Waco, Texas. Went to college at University of North Texas. 10 years or so along the way, I've been within the state. Mm-hmm. So, you know, whether it's been at Sam Houston State, TCU, U of H, or Baylor. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited about it, and I've got some pretty good relationships as far as the recruiting ties as well too.
Now, Coach Jennings has been the cornerbacks coach at TCU, but you're going to coach all the defensive backs here from a coaching perspective. Just the significance of doing that.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was just a cornerback coach at TCU, and even though we're speaking the same message, there was two different voices. The great thing about being here, and Coach B has been very great about it, is that now I'm going to have an opportunity to have one voice, same message, but one voice.
You've got experience, obviously, with Randy Shannon. Tell us about that, and did that factor into your decision?
I tell you what, there's a familiarity with Coach Shannon. The one thing about Coach Shannon is that I've known him since I coached at U of H, and then having an opportunity to work with him for 6 months at TCU prior to him coming to Arkansas, it was big. We formed a great relationship. We have a very similar style as far as football is concerned, and with those two things coming together, I'm very excited about having an opportunity to work with Coach Smith as well too.
Now, you've been here, I guess, for a little over 10 days. I know you know by now you've got players that are anxious to win.
Oh, yes, sir. And been here kind of less than 10 days.
All right. Maybe my math's bad.
I've been here 3 days.
All right.
But I tell you what, we've got a good group of kids, and excuse me as far as not knowing every last one of them by name, but, you know, with AT, and then also Will Hines, Tevin Mitchell, and Coley, you know, some of those guys, just to mention a few names. Those guys, they seem very excited about having an opportunity to be good and represent the state and not only the University of Arkansas in the proper way.
Now, we are taping this segment in the defensive team room, and we're inside the new Fred W. Smith Football Center. I would think this would be great to recruit to, and I wonder if it had an influence on your decision.
I tell you what, this is basically, to me, is kind of a Taj Mahal of what college football should be. And I tell you what, if there's any young man or young lady that has an opportunity to come visit the University of Arkansas, this place is a tremendous institution and also a tremendous facility to come here and make a home in.
Talk for just a second about defensive backs, just from a philosophical standpoint. When you're evaluating, when you're looking, what are the things you look for?
Obviously, we want to find some length and then actually some guys that can run. You know, speed is one thing that you cannot teach. You know, either you're recruiting it or you're chasing it. And then the other thing, Chuck, that we're trying to establish here is more of a physical nature within the secondary. And if we can keep the ball in front of us, we're going to have a lot better chance as far as winning some games too.
And then finally, just the fit. You know, every staff's got a fit. Every team's got a fit. Coach talked about that when he hired you. What do you see in that regard?
Well, I'll tell you what, chemistry. You know, Coach B has done a great job as far as forming a family atmosphere, you know, accountability, you know, and that's big. And then I had prior relationships, you know, whether it be recruiting, competition against, or also working with with the guys on staff. And I tell you what, when I came on my interview, I mean, they made me feel right at home.
You ready to get on the field?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you, Chuck, for having me.
All right. Spring practice right around the corner. We'll cover it all right here on Razor Vision.